Now, all right, I think I'm live. So, if I am live, it's awesome. There's been orbs in the sky, blood moon last night, total lunar eclipse. I don't know if anyone else saw it. I'm sure a bunch of people did. And me and my wife, we were walking out to the gym and we ended up looking at the moon and I saw there was a crazy blood moon. It was massive too. It it's very interesting how the moon comes in and out and is located in different sections of the sky almost every other night. I'm one of those weird people that look into the sky a bunch. I'm always looking up. I'm looking during the day. I look at night. I love looking at stars, have since I was a kid. And this is just something that's always intrigued me was outer space. So reading scripture and understanding that the earth is flat has been something interesting, very, very interesting, I will say. And understanding that the stars are very particular. God has set them in their place for their appointed time. So that's interesting as well too when reading scripture and taking God for his word. When we do that, a lot of the mysteries of this world get uncovered and revealed, and then we realize, or at least me realize that there's no real point in going any further. To a certain extent, studying and research is, yeah, it's fun, it's entertaining, to see some of the lies and deceptions of the world for sure, but at a certain point it's just all right. Some things I'll never know, and that's completely fine with me because God says that he's coming back, that Jesus is going to take his rightful throne, and that's the day that we all look forward to. But sometimes there's just weird things going on. And with the blood moon, I've also noticed little little stars. They look like stars, but they're not. I have my own assumptions, but and let me know if you guys have noticed this as well too, but they look like stars and they are hauling booty across the sky. They're just hauling booty. They don't flash. They they twinkle just like a real star. It's crazy. It's funny. But this is what I would suggest to everybody if especially if you guys can see some stars at night, just go outside when the stars come out and just look at the sky. You'll see some brighter stars, some darker stars, of course. You'll maybe see the moon, and then you'll see airplanes that are roughly the same size, but they flash. And when you go with a camera and record an airplane, you'll see distinctively the red and the green flash as they're flying. It's crazy. It's funny. But then if you look closely, because they're it's kind of easy to miss unless you're just a stargazer. I don't know any other word for it other than that. Just look at the stars. I've always looked at constellations. I've looked at stars. I've looked at all kinds of different things. But what you'll see is little white dots that look like stars. Like I said, they have a very particular sparkle. They they don't flash. They sparkle, and just like a real star. And then you'll see them go in a straight line. They don't zigzag. They don't go in circles. They're very specific. They go in straight lines, and they haul booty, and then they disappear. But they go with a massive stretch of sky and then disappear. It's the craziest thing. And you'll know that it's not an airplane because maybe the first one you'll look at and say, oh, that could be an airplane. Then you see another one act the same way. And you think to yourself, well, it can't be a shooting star because going too slow to be a shooting star. It's going too fast to be an airplane. And it doesn't look like an airplane, but it looks exactly like a star. And it's the craziest thing. I'm trying to upload some shorts so I can show you guys. But honestly, I don't know what's going on, but the 1 minute shorts I'm trying to upload apparently is going to take 4 hours. So I don't know what's going on with that. But we're going to have a little fun, dig around scripture, talk a little bit about silver, gold, and then also that the Supreme Court might be doing something interesting. And this is particularly interesting personally when I think of scripture, God, and this country. But it has to do with the gays. Anyways, let's just get into Revelation real quick. So this is Bible Gateway, Revelation 8:11. And it says, and the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. And we're going to read the chapter, get a little bit more context. There's only 13 verses. So, Revelation chapter 8. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven for heaven about the space of half an hour. And I saw the seven angels which stood before God, and to them were given seven trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. And the seven angels which had the seven trumpets prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up. And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. And the third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of water. And the name of the star was called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars. So as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound. And we know what the three angels are, and that comes with the everlasting gospel. So this part of scripture is telling us that we're really close to Jesus coming back because the angels have the sound, the warning, the salvation, and then the destruction or the accusation, right? And so something interesting happened last night. Let me look this up. August blood moon 2025. We'll get some pictures. Now that's red. Definitely tailored. I did get a picture that looked very similar to this and this, which is awesome. I might post it up on the 48 minutes, awesome, 36 minutes. We might be able to look at the shorts of the orbs that I was talking about before this live stream is done. We'll see if it hurries up. But this is what I captured as well too. It's very interesting because for me, I don't believe in the whole globed earth thing like they're trying to explain here. Even though the earth blocks out the moon, somehow the sun's light comes and refracts and hits the moon. Somehow, even though the earth is blocking the sun or blocking the moon, it's actually quite dumb. So see, they have all kinds of different arrows trying to explain it away. But if the Earth is bigger than the moon, and the Earth is blocking the light of the sun, then how can the red come from the sun? Because being blocked, it's being diverted. So the red light passes through. So just some random. So the sun hits here, and then somehow it refracts, and then comes, and then right there. That's just dumb. It's just dumb. It's easier to explain with God. And it does line up with the Jewish calendar, which is interesting as well too. Now this was 2014, 14, 15, 15, 15, the different blood moons. I did a little bit of research last night when I was in the gym about the blood moon, and they said that it lined up with the day of love or something, and then you had all kinds of astral stuff too. So let's go back to all. It says, and this I guess was pulled from Forbes and Newsweek. The full moon in August 2025 is known as the sturgeon moon, not a blood moon. However, the next full moon after that, on September 7th, 2025, will be the corn moon, which will feature a total lunar eclipse, potentially giving it a reddish appearance. What is up with these names? That's interesting. So the sturgeon moon. Now, I wonder if that comes up in scripture at all. I didn't even check that. Let me see. We're going to go to Bible Gateway, King James, Sturgeon. Nope, doesn't come up at all whatsoever. Oh, so says moon appearance and cultural significance. The sturgeon moon may appear reddish due to atmospheric conditions, earning it an additional name like the green corn moon and grain moon. It is also associated with moon illusion, making it look larger when near the horizon. The next, so this doesn't make sense, right? I mean, they want you to believe in gravity and bigger things attract smaller things. So once you're in an orbit, then you can't leave, but just kind of picked up on a lie right there. So if the moon, don't miss the bloodworm moon, wormwood. I need to look that up too. So if they say the moon is orbiting the Earth, stupid NASA, but then it comes closer or it appears closer because it's an illusion. then I don't believe in illusions. There's always some reasoning behind it. But then that means the moon would fall into the earth. The gravitational pull would be too strong. Okay, so it looks as if that's about it on this. But there was something interesting that I wanted to bring up. What did I look up last night? This wasn't necessarily it. Um, think it. I think I just did astrology blood moon 2025. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we're not getting into the witchcraft, but there was a blood moon called Wormwood. I think last year actually. No, it was in March. I don't know. I don't know what phrase I looked up. I can maybe pull it up. Let me see. Yeah, that's the Sturgeon Moon. See, that is what I typed in. Let's see. Ah, it's not bringing it up. Interesting. Well, of course, that was Google. That wasn't DuckDuckGo. Let's see if I hit search again if it'll do it. That's funny. It is bringing up. Yeah, okay. So March 14th. So it did finally bring something up. The March 2025. Okay, so the words are a little bit different. But there was a moon that happened in March that lines up with scripture. It's actually called Wormwood. So I'll just probably do a dedicated search on that. Okay. So March 14th, 2025. There you go. Just have to keep hitting search. All right. So, and this is why we read scripture in the very beginning. Was the full moon on March 14th, 2025 was known as Worm Moon, named for the earthworms that appear in the ground thaws in spring. The moon will also coincide with a total lunar eclipse, often referred to as blood moon. Let's see. Blood moon, where the moon will take on a reddish hue. Now, this isn't necessarily wormwood, but reading scripture, and the name of the star is called wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. I've just been finding some interesting things going on with our skies lately. And does this have any correlation to Revelation chapter 8? I'm not 100% sure. maybe, maybe not. But it's just something interesting because the people that do the zodiac and astrology get real into the magical meaning and something, whatever, retrograde, everything's Gatorading and practicing magic, doing spells, praying for certain things, and doing rituals. And that's not for us that follow God, but to be mindful of what God's saying because God has directed the stars. Stars. Let's see if it'll bring up Genesis. What is it? Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1, verse 16. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning were the fourth day. So we see that. And so looking at the sky, looking at the stars, there's some interesting things that happen. And the star the stars are appointed to their place, like God says. So there's no getting around that. And when we look up into the sky, we see different flying objects moving left and right and going in straight lines. And I got good news. One of the shorts finally posted, so we're gonna view this. And you guys tell me I was not able to get the I might edit a video showing these and an airplane in the same in the same it's not the same video, but it is the same time pretty much to show that an airplane looks completely different. And whether you guys want to believe this video or not, that's fine to me. That's fine with me. I would suggest just go look in the sky and see for yourself. Is there anything that we could do about it? No, but it is interesting. All right, let's check this out. It looks just like a star, too. Dang, it's still going. It hasn't disappeared yet. And that's it. Okay, there we go. My bad. I was muted for a second. But in the other video, we see a trail coming back behind the shooting star. Behind these shooting stars, you see trail. Tail. I don't know if this is real or not. This kind of looks a little fake. Could be real. And this is a time lapse. This is a crazy shooting star too. That one's going slow if that was a time lapse. And then we see this as well too. That kind of looked more similar to mine, which was interesting. And then we see this one. See, but you always see a tail. There's always a tail on shooting stars. So when we go to my video, there's no tail. It's just a star moving. And I believe these are government drones, hydrogen propelled. And this is why there's no sound. This is why they move extremely fast. And they're able to go extremely high as well too. But I do believe that the government purposely made these look like stars so no one would be any wiser to what they're actually doing. I do not believe this is alien technology. Well, it could be alien technology, but I believe that it was produced by our government. And when I say alien technology, I think we know the technology that comes from the sea. There is no such thing as the galaxy and so on. We see that God says that there's a firmament in heaven, there's a firmament here on earth, and then there's land, there's the sea, and then there's under the earth. So we cannot break through. We cannot break through, but it's just very interesting seeing all of that. So look up to the sky. Let's see. I want to bring up this guy's video because this is interesting. And we might see something happen with the silver and gold market. But I would suggest look up into the sky, see what's going on, do your own research. Is it going to help us in any way, shape, or form? I don't know. Who knows? I don't think it'll necessarily help us, but it helps drive in the point that what God has made is good and can't change. So anything outside of that picture, understand that it's the lie coming from 1984. The lie coming just like it has been talked about in George Orwell's book, 1984. It's our government. It's the people that rule our government and control our government, setting up the B system. And that's really it. So this is probably going to be the last thing that we do. We're going to just kind of play around with the silver and gold. And I just like helping my brothers and sisters out. So if this information helps, amazing. Hopefully it does. But, take it with a grain of salt. We're all in charge of our own money, and only God can, give us increase or not. So,
now, research from the Journal of Futures being on. Of course, I don't know what the stated lease rates are right now, but likely this is something else, and it means that perhaps we are in a situation where we can see this thing break out. And what does the silver breakout mean? Well, I'm talking about maybe we should consider the possibility of nearing that $50 an ounce silver price again soon. In other words, keep your mind open to it as a possibility. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Remember, the silver market is complex. We do have these other rate cuts that are coming down the road. A massive Fed pivot is coming, and I talked about that in a video recently. I hope you will check out. That is going to be good for silver's price as well.
So Yes, there actually might be a Fed cut coming. I keep going back and forth with this. I truly do because I know the Fed has to cut rates at some point for publicity and for getting people in homes and readjusting the market, but they're stuck in this pivotal thing where if they do cut rates, our debt is going to skyrocket. Our debt is just what is the phrase? Go to the moon. Our debt is going to skyrocket, and so it's not a good thing. Rates actually need to be increased for us to even start tackling some of our debt, and it needs to stay high. And so it's interesting. And do I want that? No, not necessarily, because I'm also looking at buying some land and property. So it really hurts my family as well too. But at the same time, it's if we're paying down our debt, we're paying down our debt. That's actually a better future for our children and our children's children. So what the heck? Inside AI? AI turns $1 into 1 million but ends life exactly as experts warned. No way. Okay, so actually I think we're probably gonna click on that. I'm a little interested. So, keep this in mind. The silver and gold always go up and down, but they protect us against the collapse of the dollar, and the dollar is collapsing in front of our face and has been for a long, long time. So, when does that ball actually drop? No one knows. I don't know. But, at least whatever happens, happens. We can at least protect ourselves and be mindful of that. So, let's click on this video. This is interesting.
How do I get rich quick with AI?
Great.
Okay. Oh shoot. That is the actual video. Okay, let me see if I can. AI bot training, easy AI, a millionaire AI, future AI, emergency AI meeting. Oh, that's definitely clickbait. Yeah, definitely clickbait. That sucks. Okay, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I think I'm gonna leave the video there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something. Like I said, keep your eyes on the sky. We're supposed to be watching for the coming of Christ, and that's something powerful. That's something powerful. My camera is definitely frozen, so let's see. Nope, it is not coming back. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and just stay in Scripture. All right, God bless.